My name's Tony Dargone with Eastern Engineering. Are you in a dilemma? Sometimes I'm in one. I like to get a video on YouTube that tells me the difference in products. Today, I have the HP DesignJet XL 3600 MFP to my right. To my left, I have a KIP 7170. So if you're in the market for a new wide format printer, which one's right for you? I'm going to go through a few of these, go through the differences in both these printers, and give you an idea what the difference is. Number one, I don't know if you can hear this or not, my KIP is warming up right now, and my HP is ready to print. So this device uses heat to fuse toner to paper, and this device uses ink. Today, ink on an HP MFP is comparable in price to toner on a black and white KIP 7170. Previously, your cost of ink would make this device much more expensive, and so you wouldn't want to do the type of printing that you would do on this device on that device. Don't worry about that anymore. They're really the same. So what does this device do that this device can't do? So what are the pros of the KIP and what are the cons as compared to the cons of the HP? Well, number one, KIP has been providing the KIP 7170 series, the 7100 series, the 3000 series, the 3100 series. This box has been in the marketplace for about 15 years or so. It has changed, it's evolved, and you may have a KIP 3000 today or a 3100 you're comparing. So the technology's been proven. The software, most of your end users already know it. Your CAD users and so forth in there. And you already know this device potentially, because this device has never been on the market. This device prints 6 pages a minute, so that's fast. So if I need 40 sheets and I want them in a hurry, this is the better device to get those 40 sheets in a hurry. What I understand today is that type of need with 40 sheets all printed at one time is a lesser need. Not that it doesn't happen. Most of the time though, I think it's 1 to 5 sheets. So how does this do with 1 to 5 sheets? It does very well. So 1 to 5 sheets, this machine does a very good job. The one thing about using a device that uses heat though, is that it has to warm up or come up to temperature. So to do that, it can take a minute or two if it's going in from a sleep mode. If it's going from a cold sleep, that can take 5 minutes or so to get that particular print to come out. So that's kind of maybe a drawback from a warm-up time standpoint. This printer stacks to the top, very efficient with stacking, and this printer comes with a feature set, a rich feature set in software. The software applications that you get from a KIP product are second to none. Renaming files. There's a whole multitude of things that this video is really not considering to cover. But think about this device from a software standpoint like an Android that has multiple apps and multiple software options. And this device a little bit more like maybe I would say a flip phone, maybe an iPhone, right? It doesn't give you maybe as many things, although today the iPhone's probably comparable to Android. But it doesn't have as many options. You're not going to have as many things to do with this one, whereas this one's going to have definitely much more to it. I think paper loading in this device is still a better feature. The drawer's stout. It's made of metal. It does use end caps to be able to go into the end of the roll, so that's a nice feature set over some of the other competitive products to KIP that use spindles. As we all know that when paper gets shipped, if you are familiar with these types of devices, when paper gets shipped, the cores get bent, and if you're trying to force a spindle down through a bent core, good luck. You're going to call us and ask us to bring back the paper and get you a new roll. This device, as far as paper goes, I had to tell the machine that I needed to unload it first, which really isn't terrible. You can see now that it's doing it for me. But the drawer itself is a little softer. there's only one roll in this drawer, which I don't know necessarily that's a bad thing, but there's only one roll of paper in this drawer, and it does hold a 36-inch wide roll. To get to the second roll, I have to go down to the second drawer. Here, I have roll 1 and I have roll 2 in the same drawer. The kit does have a nice feature that allows you to cut the paper. So when I put a new roll in, a lot of times that leading edge of that paper is jagged, and I have an ability here to cut the paper. I don't have that ability to be able to cut the paper. So a razor blade or something of that nature, it could be necessary. It will trim the sheet for us, but it is nice to be able to trim the paper right there from the edge. When you look at this device from a speed standpoint as compared to the kit running at 60s a minute, this device has a 28-second first page out, which is pretty quick. So when I hit print, I'm going to come over and the page is going to be waiting on me. But the overall thing is, this one prints about 2 to 3 pages a minute. You can, on a fast mode, you're going to be more to 3. If you want like a rendering quality, it's going to slow down because it's going to take more passes to go over the particular point on the page to give you a higher resolution. So, but in your normal daily black and white, crunch time, got to get this drawing printed, 3 pages, 50% of the speed of this particular unit. But like I did say, 1 to 5 pages, 90 seconds is a good target for this particular unit, and that is where we see the wheelhouse of printing occurring in the industry. Processing wise, let's say when I send a file from my computer, or I send it to the software, and I'm sending it to an HP or to a kit, which one's going to grab that file and which one's going to process it better? Well, in the past, this device would blow the doors off of this device when it came to processing files and especially complex files. Today, the PDF files that we have are multiple pages. They have multiple layers inside them, and when they hit the print driver, these files might be 15 megs and actually blow up into a larger set. What's really nice about this device, processing multi-page files, printing single sheets out of a multi-page file, this is a device and it'll do it just well. So how's this device do that? Actually, this particular device is a 3600, processes files very similarly. In the past, it hadn't. Today, this device will actually keep up with that other device. Let's talk a little bit about the cons of ink versus toner, and then we'll talk a little bit about color in its place in the marketplace. Let's talk about ink first. This particular printer comes with 6 different colors. Really, you want to make it simple. It's CMYK, so it's cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. There's a gray, so it's not important, but it's CMYK. So this particular printer is going to print your renderings, your maps. It's going to print in color. If you're a mechanical contractor and you want all your diffusers in a particular color so somebody can just count them and take them off, you can communicate in color with this device. It has a color scanner and it has a color printer. Over here, we have a color scanner. So if you have your as-built, your shop drawings, you can scan in color. Over here, down here, with the printer itself, it's only black and white toner. So you're only going to be able to communicate in blacks and in your grayscales. What we are hearing today in the marketplace is an increasing demand for color. So I've been asked the question, and I don't know the answer, but I've been asked the question, how much longer will just a single footprint black and white toner device be available in our marketplace? I suppose until the demand ends. But I do see an increasing demand for color. At our office, if you were to come to our office and you were needing prints done, today, if you come to our office, we'll print in color or black and white CAD at the same price that we used to print just black and white CAD. And the reason we're doing that is because our customers have spoken to us and told us that color is important, and we have the technology to be able to do that. Stacking, and I may cover that a little bit. Both printers do an excellent job going to hold 150 to 100 sheets just fine. Both require a 110 outlet. Okay, so both printers require a 110 outlet. Both have USB functionality on the drives. So both units feature the touchscreen. This unit here has a 15.6 inch touchscreen, and this one's here is a 12 inch touchscreen. When I touch the touchscreen, it's very responsive, and I can say the same thing over here on this touchscreen. It's very responsive. It does what I do. When I hit the touchscreen, it goes where it needs to go. So from a processor and that type of thing, very good. This one takes a 110 plug. This one takes a 110 plug. This one here can be wireless. It's a little extra cost. It's an adapter that is sold with the machine, but this actually can be wireless for some of those job site trailer installations. This one here needs a landline. You actually have to have a hard line plugged into it. If you have a wireless router in your office, you can still print wirelessly from your laptop or your phone. But this one truly can stand alone and not require a wired outlet. I'm going to take you down next through the size of the machine. So I'm going to come back to this video just real quick, but I'm going to rotate the machine so you can see the profile of it. All right, so I think you can see now from the video, both these machines are about the same width. They both can be in a print corner, or sometimes we've seen them in hallways. It doesn't take up a full cubicle to be able to house these printers. If you do have the need for color, this particular device we would have to partner it with an HP Design Jet or another Canon or something of that nature to be able to partner with. But from a profile standpoint, very similar in their space requirements that they actually hold. And from a width standpoint, I think you can see that from before. Width-wise, they're the same too. All right, let's talk about reliability. Reliability is a concern for you as an end user. You certainly want to make sure that you make a good choice and pick the right product when it comes to being reliable. We've had KIP 7170s in the like devices, legacy units in the field. One of the largest KIP dealers in the country, and they're very reliable products, and I can't say enough good things about KIP. I'm very happy and very proud to say that many of these devices in the field, and they're doing great. This device, from an HP standpoint, very solid. This machine, from our standpoint so far, we haven't had the years of experience necessarily being in the field, but we do have its predecessors, and we do have the page-wide series that's above this, and the Design Jet series that's below it. This particular printer sits in between those two, kind of like a sandwich like I am at the moment. And those two devices themselves, have proven to be reliable as well. So I think that's a tie. I don't know that really either one of them take the lead on that. This device has, one thing I want to make mention before I end this video, is that this device has all those colors I talked about, the CMYK, right? The black on this is a pigment black. So it's a water-fast ink. It's pretty much, you can take it out in the rain, you can do whatever you want with it, and that is just like toner. The colors on this particular printer are not pigment, they're dye-based. They're not going to wash out, they're not going to wash away, but they are not as toner-like as maybe the pigment ink is. So that is a little bit of a difference, but from a quality standpoint, and maybe that's one thing that we haven't hit on as well in this video, quality-wise, this particular printer will print both black and white drawings and color rendering drawings at the same time. This printer, is going to print your black and white drawings only. This is a 600 DPI printer. This is a 1200 DPI printer. When you print with ink versus toner, ink, you can spray finer dots and finer particles. Toner, you can only get the dots so small, so you're not going to get 1200 DPI per se out of this particular device. You just can't get toner to smash down to that small, from what I've been told and what I understand. And this particular device, prints at 1200 DPI, so it's pretty high fidelity. The lines are crisp and the grays are gray, and you can see it with your eyes. Well, I appreciate your time. I hope this video was educational to you, and I hope you found it a benefit.